We had a very senior-laden and fifth-year laden roster coming in, so the expectations were that, we'd have guys that had experience and knew what to do, and that's certainly what we saw. We did have some minor injuries that gave backups opportunities, so we saw some guys rise up and take advantage of those opportunities. That was nice to see. And then we thought we had a very good freshman skilled group coming in, both sides on the offense and defensive side of the ball, and that's what we saw. We saw some young guys that have skills that in other years that we didn't have 10 fifth years coming back would get them on the field immediately. So all good things, and we've stayed away from major injuries for the most part. So knock on wood, we'll go into the John Carroll scrimmage relatively healthily, and if we come out healthy, we're set up good for the first game. We're still trying to figure out, because we do have options. There's some years that we know exactly what kind of offense we are based on personnel, meaning like we may not have great depth, and so we know exactly what formations and schemes we're going to be in. I think we do have great versatility and great depth at the offensive skill positions, so that gives us certainly options that we can go, directions that we can pursue, but sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it isn't, because you can do so much, but you can only get so good at a certain amount of things. But at least you have options. So we're excited to kind of get through this scrimmage and then kind of figure out, okay, here's our offensive philosophy and here's what we're going to be doing. But again, it all starts at quarterback, and we feel with Alex Fromberg coming back and what he did, and having Aaron Phillips also as a guy that I think can be a really good college quarterback, it gives us some great options to go many directions. There's a couple. Dylan Cave is a receiver. He's a junior, and he's played a little, and we were just kind of waiting for him to feel comfortable with what we ask out of our receivers, and he seems to feel comfortable now, and he has just elite athleticism, playmaking ability, and again, he hasn't had a lot of career catches, but we think he can be as good as anybody that we have on our roster, and be an all-conference level performer. And we saw that from him in the spring a little bit, and it's carried over in the fall. So Dylan's certainly one, and then Jake Kavsick, an incoming freshman, he's listed as quarterback, but he's definitely more of an athlete, and we've been playing him in many different ways. He's outstanding in open space, can make a lot of people miss. He can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he can run with the ball. So there's somebody that'll be on the field in some version. Could be a returner, could be a wildcat quarterback, could be a lot of different things. So we're excited to use his skills, and might be on a limited basis at first, but he's certainly ready to play college football as an incoming freshman. They know what to do, and starting last spring, we did a lot of shifting, motioning on offense, and if you do that to a younger defense, it causes great confusion because of all the skill or the experienced guys we have back on defense. Very little they haven't seen, so they can adapt and react very quickly, and that's what we've seen in practice. One newcomer is he's a fifth-year guy, but he's a newcomer to defense, is Jace Merritt, making the move to nose guard. And kind of just what we thought. Jace is an extremely high-level athlete, very explosive, strong. Hadn't played nose since high school, but he's adapted and picked it up very quickly, and I think he'll make a real impact along with Joe Melee at the nose guard position. And that was really the only position we didn't have somebody back at. So, yeah, exciting to see those guys, either in new positions or guys that have waited their turn and will get an opportunity to help out a very experienced defense. I think there's been that messaging from the staff and myself, but I think it's also come from our leadership. They understand, again, they've been through this league for 4 years, many of them, and they understand that you got to bring it every week. So there's certainly been a mentality of, let's improve on a daily basis. I've really been impressed with our leadership group and the message they're sending to younger kids. Some of the groups have their players write on a piece of paper and post it on their locker what they want to get better at today at practice. So that's about as focused and not looking ahead as you can be. If we can just get better every day, the later in the season stuff will take care of itself. So I think that is really the messaging that our senior leadership has given since day one, and the team has just followed suit. You have to improve weekly for sure. I made the statement, and if we're just looking to maintain, like we had a great defense last year, nationally ranked, we finished 4th. So if we just maintain, that's not going to be good enough. The teams that finished above us are not coming back to us. We're going to have to rise to their level. So that's going to take constant improvement every week and focus on and responsibilities, and the job may change weekly, but we have to get better at the little things. And if we have won the league, it's going to be because we've forced turnovers and we don't turn over the ball. And that's certainly a stat that we have to get better at, and that we've made explosive plays and prevented explosive plays. I think those would be the keys, to winning a championship. But as you said, probably the number one thing is staying healthy and keeping our best players on the field.